I'm Dr. Jeremy Kepner. I lead the MIT Lincoln Laboratory Supercomputing Center. My goal today is to share our lessons learned about data centers to develop shared visions for data center success. I will begin by explaining why we care about data centers. First, by many reasonable measures, data centers are the largest infrastructure investment taking place in our society. Similarly, these data centers may become the single largest consumer of electricity. So for these and many other reasons, we all have a strong interest in understanding how these data centers can be successful in the broadest possible sense. As with any large undertaking, planning is key. A well-planned and executed data center can play a large role in revitalizing communities and dramatically accelerate the broad adoption of more efficient and cost-effective energy technologies. So what are data centers? They are very large buildings that hold enormous amounts of data, computing, and networking equipment. From the outside, data centers look like giant warehouses. Data centers consume significant energy and need a lot of cooling to remove the heat generated by the computing equipment. Data centers are often located in areas with abundant space and access to cheap electricity. Among the cheapest forms of electricity are hydroelectric, solar, wind, and nuclear. Data centers often induce significant investments to upgrade local infrastructure. In particular, a lot of the energy investments in data centers are with the technologies I just mentioned. You might be asking yourself, well, what kind of computing actually happens inside a data center? Mostly the computers are just multiplying large matrices, big spreadsheets, over and over and over again. Why? For fundamental mathematical and physics reasons, computers can be built to make matrix multiply amazingly efficient. We can do far more of these computations for the same amount of energy when compared to other computations. It is expected that the performance of matrix multiply will continue to increase significantly. There is a whole branch of mathematics that studies these that we're just now beginning to pull into hardware. I'm just going to throw some terms out there that you may hear down the road. Sparsity, hypersparsity, semi-rings, Ozaki, Fourier, Strassen. These are all mathematical methods that have been around a long time that are just now beginning to be pulled into the hardware to make these things more efficient. It is expected that the performance of matrix multiply will continue to increase significantly. Matrix multiply is generally useful for many applications and is the cornerstone of a wide range of algorithms. Telecommunications, video games, medical imaging, control systems, and many, many, many other things rely upon matrix multiply. Most notably, matrix multiply underpins neural networks that are a key to modern AI. Recent improvements in AI capabilities are due to significant increases in the size of neural networks made possible by increased matrix multiply performance. If AI could not take advantage of matrix multiply, we are not talking about it today. We are talking about something else. This technology drives the applications that can move forward, not the other way around. Data centers that enable these computations are predicted to have long-term value. The prevalence of AI computations have led to the rebranding of some data centers as AI factories. And I'm going to use that factory analogy a little bit more as we get into our talk. So what does long-term data center success look like? It depends on who you ask. Two important stakeholders are the investors and the community where the data center is located. Near-term benefits are often key drivers: immediate rents from AI tenants and construction jobs. Long-term success is very different. For investors, a well-built data center can dramatically appreciate in value. For the community, a well-planned data center can lead to ongoing investments in infrastructure, energy efficiency, safety, vocational training, and become a magnet for innovation. These often go together. A core challenge to achieving long-term data center success are the rapid improvements in the underlying computing. A data center that is built to support a single generation of computing technology may be obsolete before it is even finished. A key question for anyone, investors or communities, to ask to determine the time horizon of the data center is, what is the planned floor occupancy of the data center on day one of operations? Data centers focused on long-term value and appreciation have lower day one occupancy as they are betting on their ability to more quickly deploy the latest generations of technology. Betting aggressively on today's computing technology in a data center means betting against that the technology will not be made obsolete in a few years. So you have to balance things out. We expect these technologies to continue to increase by orders of magnitude. So the computer you build today can be done with a much, much smaller computer in the future. Adaptability is the key to long-term data center success. So how can we achieve long-term data center success? For data centers, the factory analogy can be useful. Many towns have dormant factories with key ingredients: appropriate zoning, at acceptable distances from homes, a skilled mechanical workforce, vocational upskilling opportunities, energy resources, transportation systems, and even forward trade zones with reduced tariffs. Replacing old factories with new AI factories is a great way to ensure the ongoing resources and community support necessary for long-term success. I can speak from personal experience. This is exactly what we did and has been fantastic. Communities can accelerate this process by working together to proactively develop portfolios of appropriate sites with pre-vetted mitigation and infrastructure upgrade plans. The data centers are coming. They're going to be everywhere. It's a tremendous opportunity right now for communities to work with local government to ask yourselves the questions: where would be a great place for this to go? Is there some area where I can have a significant investment and replacement of a building, a factory, or something like that that would really benefit our community? There's a tremendous opportunity, and it's ongoing because many of the data centers that are being built now, as I said before, are going to have to be replaced in a few years because they were built with a very specific technology in mind. These plans can significantly accelerate data center development process, which is a key risk for investors. A data center may need to refresh all its equipment within 5 years. This requires significant internal and external upgrades. Pop-up, rot-in-place data centers sacrifice significant long-term value. Designing a data center with upgrades in mind ensures the data center appreciates in value. A lot of data centers are actually depreciating assets, but they can actually be worth far more in the future than they are today. Data centers focused on long-term value will have a clear vision for how the data center will adapt to anticipated technology improvements. The most forward-thinking data centers already have plans for potential upgrades to the deployment of quantum computing. A supportive, skilled local community is key to ensuring continuous adaptation as technology advances. The benefit to both investors and communities is a much less volatile data center portfolio that will significantly appreciate value while providing broad benefits to the community. A final thought. These AI factories have very dynamic resource requirements. Even the ones that are existing today, they collect enormous amounts of data about their operations. And it's actually interesting, and people are doing this now, to apply AI to the data center itself to significantly increase the efficiency and longevity of operations today. I hope you find these ideas for data center success valuable. I very much enjoyed speaking with you today. Thank you very much.